Hello, everyone. I'm Fabian Chavez. Play tenor sax with the Jonas Brothers right now.
So let's kind of start at the beginning of your story. Can you kind of take us back to the very beginning? How did you fall in love with music in the first place?
I was always scared of like I'm never gonna make it as a musician. Like
Yeah.
I'll never be able to do it. Like it just seemed so like out of reach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, So, I just as things progressed, like, I would get called to do something cool here or something cool there, and I'm like, okay, that would give me like a little bit of like confidence. But even
Hmm.
till the point I graduated college, I was still like doubting myself.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I don't know if I'll be able to make it. Like, I'm
Right.
gonna be like a starving musician.
Oh.
And my my jazz director was like, Fabian, like you're just literally be yourself. Like
Yeah.
do you and it's are gonna work out just fine. I promise you. And yeah, so I guess that moment kind of gave me like a lot of confidence kind of when I left college. I was just like, all right, we're doing it full time.
Yeah.
And incidentally, this blues band, they had actually seen me play when I was like 15.
No
And
way.
yeah, they wanted me to go on tour with them like right then and there.
Yeah.
And my parents are like, he's got to be like, yeah, at least finish high school, like,
Oh my God. Could have been a
and they,
child star. I guess that's
I
not really a
know,
child
right?
star, but
I would
teen
have been
star.
like the Jonas Brother, just
There you
some.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but yeah, so I was like, I can't do it, sorry. Graduated college. They asked me like every year in college, and I was like, I have to finish college. Like, let me get my
Yeah.
degree. So as soon as I finished college, they were like, all right, you ready to go now? And I'm like, let's do it. So
Yeah.
I went on tour with them. That was like my first experience with being gone. And we did like a summer tour and right after I graduated, and it was like we did like 90, no, was it 82 cities in like 92 days.
Oh
Like it
my
was just
My
God.
God.
every single day. And we were like setting up our own gear, setting up our own sound. Like it was not a glamorous life by
That's
any means.
hardcore. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That
Yeah, I
makes
was
this
gonna
Jonas
say.
stuff look like nothing.
oh my God. Now I'm like, that's why, over the years, I'm like, okay, like being on this Jonas gig is like a dream come true because I'm
That's
like,
easy peasy comparatively. Yeah.
yeah, I don't have to do nothing. Like I just gotta show up, know the music, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I've had some really cool moments over the years that have just like that was a really big moment where I'm like, okay, this could be cool. And then like right
Yeah.
after that happened, I like did this like 3 month residency. Yeah, 3 month residency in Dubai
Oh
Wow.
wow.
with an artist named Shalea. She was one of Quincy Jones's jazz artists, like one of her signed artists. And I was in the band, I was playing drums. We were the second band to be there at his brand new jazz club in Dubai.
That's cool.
Yeah. So again, like, and it was the Palazzo Versace. So it was like
Ooh.
in the Versace hotel. So like everything
Wow.
was
A little
wow.
So
bougie.
bougie.
It was actually ridiculous. Yeah. But
What a way to start.
I
Yeah, I was gonna
know,
say
I
you
know.
didn't dip your toe in, you just were like straight for it.
Yeah. Full dive.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, yeah. So it's been cool. It's been good. It's been
That's
good.
very cool.
Yeah.
Um, when you were younger, was there a particular artist or album that like deeply influenced you and like your musicality or like your genre of music that you specialize in?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a few. There's probably a couple that I'm like that really shaped me. I guess the way I'll tell this story real quick. The way I like came to play the phone was like I played drums my whole life. I played drums since I was
Okay.
2. So when I got in the middle school band or when I wanted to like, enroll in the middle school band, everybody wanted to play drums. Everybody wanted to play drums. Everybody wanted to be. So like 20 kids wanted to play and there were like 4 spots. So the director chose out
Wow.
of a hat. I didn't get chosen. So I was like, man,
Oof.
I want to do this for real. Like I'm already
Yeah.
playing drums. So my mom called the like school, talked to the director, and she was like, if he's already doing, drums and playing, then like in groups, like he's gonna be bored out of his mind because we're gonna be like starting from square one, like
Yeah.
just whole notes and all this. So
Yeah.
she's have him learn another instrument in band, but still,
Oh.
you know, play drums. So we're like, okay, we could do that. So I love my mom and dad always listen to Kenny G.
Okay.
Okay.
The poster child of
Yeah.
saxophone. So I was like, okay, I'll choose a saxophone,
I
and
didn't expect you to say that. That's hilarious.
I know. Yeah, so like really like that music had a big impact on me. I mean,
Yeah.
not one like record in general, but just like that sound of like instrumental,
Yeah.
saxophone music was like it was so soothing to me. And it was always like my parents, they had a dedicated station at that time that was like only playing smooth jazz.
Hmm.
So like my parents listened to that all the time. It was called The Wave, 94.7. And so Dave Koz, Gerald Albright, these like saxophone players really shaped that initially. But like some big ones that I kind of remember that really stand out to me over the years is like Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's
Hmm.
like a live concert DVD or like a
Yeah.
live CD that is like I still listen to that all the time. James Taylor, like his greatest hits album.
Yes.
My dad loves James Taylor. I
Oh.
love.
Hmm.
Mm. And then like again, like going back to like salsa and like, those kind of roots. Like I'm born and raised in LA. My parents are born and raised in LA as well. And but I'm half Mexican, half Nicaraguan.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um, so my dad, just like listened to a lot of like salsa and like, Cuban music and Puerto Rican music. So I was definitely exposed to a lot of that as well, and that has shaped who I am as a player and my influences and all that. So
Very cool. You got a good mix. I like it.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
just like all genres of music coming together to like m make a person's like artistic personality. So that's really cool. You got a good one.
absolutely. Yeah, thank you. No, I definitely attribute it, my dad has great musical taste and a broad musical, selection, to
Yeah.
choose from. And even now he still like he's like subscribes to Tiny Desk. So
Yeah.
Oh my God.
he always flips on like, babe, you gotta see this new Tiny Desk with this, George Smith or, like, whatever, like some like newish artist that I'm like, my dad would never know, like Jasmine Sullivan or Yeba,
Yeah.
like dang, that's sick. Like my he knows.
He keeps
So
up.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
He
hip. What the
knows.
heck?
yeah.
So kind of speaking of all of those different kinds of artists, you've played with such a wide range of artists, both kind of in that studio recording setting and in the live performance setting with, credits with Tyler, the Creator and the Jonas Brothers. How do you approach adapting your style for each artist that you play for?
I think it's just going back to like the influences, and
Mhm.
I've always been one to like I obviously want to be myself and I have my own sound and voice, but I
Mhm.
also want to be very transparent and like play the language of the genre, right? Like I'm
Oh,
not gonna like,
yes.
you know, for example, like I have this solo, when I do at the shows on this like kind of slow R&B 70s,
Is it
right? It's
Vacation
called
Eyes? Is that the
Vacation.
one?
Yeah.
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 I know what it is.
You're like, I've seen a TikTok or two, Joe.
I came
Um,
to Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago, so I saw you in action, sir, and it was
oh, I
great.
love it. That's amazing. Well, thank you. I choose out of that bag of like R&B, like big, slow, big melodies, high notes. Same thing with like that Fly By Midnight solo. Like I
Yes.
wasn't gonna approach it and be like, like all these like
Yeah.
it's not stylistically correct. So when I think of like each genre, like if I'm doing a Tyler the Creator record, a Mac the Miller album, or I'm doing like a Latin jazz
Hmm.
crazy fusion thing, like I just approach it as if I was like the best guy in that genre, and then how can I like mix that with my own sound and my own
Yeah.
twist.
Personality, all those influences coming back from your
Exactly.
own repertoire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of continuing on that same realm, how do you balance your creative freedom with supporting other artists?
Yeah, I mean it's tough, especially when we're out. Like right now I'm dealing with like so I got signed to a label.
Yeah,
Um,
congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So it's like a smooth jazz thing, smooth jazz label, and the producer, I mean, amazing producer. His name's Adam Hawley. The label's called MBF Entertainment, and I've released 4 singles now. Through them, and so we're gonna be releasing the fifth one, and then hopefully the album will be,
Ooh,
next year, February, something like that,
yeah,
or March,
that's
whatever.
soon.
Yeah, I know, right? It is
That's
coming up.
exciting.
So he's like, we need, we're kind of talking about music and I want to like retrack some saxophone. And he's like, dude, like, I need it now, And I'm like, man, I'm not going to be home for, like they just keep adding shows to
Yeah,
the schedule.
yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, so I really want to get it out and then I got to take pictures. So it is
Hmm.
hard to balance it. Luckily Adam does a lot of work on my behalf and,
Hmm.
not only just in terms of making the music, but in terms of marketing and,
Hmm.
he's got like a big campaign that we every time we release a single, it's like we're trying to get it on XM Sirius radio, Sirius XM
Yeah,
radio.
Hmm.
So that's like the goal. I've gotten like 2 or 3 songs on there now. So
that's
that's been pretty
sick.
Yeah, that's
exciting. Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. And you like see real time like okay like this is not Spotify or Tidal, this is like the radio, so like
Yes.
Hmm.
payout is different with royalties and all that. So it's been really cool to like, yeah, just have that be part of my thing now where I just, on my own, I really never had, I hate to say this, I never had quite the dedication to like buckle down and say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
be an artist, I'm gonna release my own music and blah, blah, blah. Only because, and it goes back to the like our foundation of like our
Yeah.
influences. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I
Hmm.
didn't know if I wanted to do like some funk stuff or some R&B soul or some Latin stuff, or some like country, like quasi Americana, like James
Yeah.
Taylor. I'm like, but I can't do all of that. Like I can't combine all of it, but I also like want to because that's
Yeah.
my upbringing, like that's my
You could just
foundation. So I'm
you could just change genres every album. It's
I
fine.
was gonna say you could pull a Taylor Swift and just change your genre every album or every song.
I might do that. I
You
might do that.
should.
That'd be
It's cool.
sweet.
Yeah.
Who's to say I can't do that?
Yeah,
But
never let them know your next move, you know?
I like that. I like that. But yeah, so it's tough, but it's good. I mean, I got a little team and I know that they help me tremendously, and so yeah, I'm super blessed in that regard.
When did you start doing like actually releasing solo music?
In last year,
Okay.
2024.
So
Yeah.
pretty recently. Very exciting. How do you
Yeah.
kind of balance, I mean, with the schedule that you have right now, actively being on tour while also like prepping all of this solo stuff? How do you kind of manage your time between your work like as a touring musician, but then also like having that identity as a solo artist?
Yeah, it's just, I try to just take what other people do and, like, could I be better at posting on Instagram and all social? Of course. Could I be more active in those things? Yes. Um, but again, the goal is a little bit different with this specific project, like,
Hmm.
we want to, yeah, like, yes, it is to build up, Instagram and social media and all this stuff, but like that demographic of that genre doesn't really like
Yeah.
having, like being super famous on Instagram or whatever is like having a bunch of followers doesn't really mean anything to
Hmm.
like 50, 60-year-olds, unfortunately, So it's just like,
It's a
okay,
lot
cool.
different than if you were releasing like a pop album.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They care about the quality of the music, which from what I can tell is exactly what you're doing. So that's that's the goal, I guess. It
Yeah,
seems to be.
definitely. Yeah. So yeah, just trying to, like take time and be diligent about emails and, getting back to people, just
Yeah.
the basics.
Do what you got to do. Just
Exactly.
keep trucking.
Exactly.
So you have been playing with the Jonas Brothers for the last few years, including the tour, Greetings from Your Hometown tour. What is one of your favorite memories you have from playing with them?
Honestly, I always say that it's like it was the first time. it was our opening night of the first tour that I did with them in
Hmm.
2023. Um, that was Yankee Stadium,
Oh my
and like so,
gosh.
yeah. And it was crazy, tensions were high because it was our first time. It was my first time playing with the brothers. Um, it was like there was a four-piece horn section, and there was a little miscommunication, but we didn't get the music till like rehearsal time, which we should have gotten it much before rehearsal
Months
time
in advance, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be ready for rehearsal time. And so we kind of just all made our own charts and all learned the music, and then they were like, "Oh, you didn't get the charts?" And I'm like, "Oh my
Nope.
God, no." So yeah, we had like a ton of memorizing to do, not only musically, but you guys have seen the show, you ladies in the show. There's a lot of like staging and blocking and choreography, and like, we got to do this at this time, and everything's pretty accounted for, all the moves.
Hmm.
And so it was just so much to retain, a
Yeah.
3 hour show with 60 something
Wow.
songs, you know. Granted, horns didn't play on every single song, but it was just a lot to memorize the
Mhm.
staging and memorize music. So we'd have like little iPad, like we had like I remember I had an iPad for my music and an iPad with the stage direction, and we'd like run back and be like, okay, 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 we got it, and then we'd
Yeah.
run back out, and then we'd like, crush it. And I'm like, oh, that was amazing, and it's just like, yeah, just seeing, I remember when the band walked out, they kind of caught a glimpse of the band, and the whole stadium just like erupted,
That's
and they
so
Yeah.
saw just,
sick.
and I was like, oh my God. And then when the bros came out and they saw the brothers, it was like, it was just,
Mind's
you
lost.
know, just instantly loud. And I was like, this is insane. Like, I never have been really in a space like that. Like I've seen concerts and I've seen people, but like, I don't know, the energy is definitely just like different at a Jonas Brothers show, especially with the thousands of screaming women fans.
Yeah.
The demographic is. Um, so
It's
it's just,
very
yeah,
passionate there.
Yes.
they do love them some Jonas Brothers. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's like a standout memory, that I will always like cherish that first one.
That's wild that you started it off at Yankee Stadium.
I
Like,
know.
what a way to start it.
It was like this year too. Like we did MetLife, which is like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, we had like super big artists come and, hang out with us and do some songs. I was like, all right, we're just jumping in like the biggest gig. Actually, this was like a funny little story too, but we were at rehearsal and getting ready for that first New York show, the Yankee show. Like Nick comes by and just chatting with us, lunch or whatever. And we're like, yeah, we're just a little nervous, man. Like it's our biggest show, like I've never done a show this big, none of
Yeah.
us have. And Nick's like, it's our biggest show too, man. Like we're just as, nervous as you,
yeah,
Yeah.
our biggest show too. So I'm like, oh man, that kind of just put it into perspective because you just think like, oh, those guys they just do this, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They do that. But it's like, okay, they're human. Like, they get nervous, they're worried, so yeah, it was like a cool little like humbling moment. It's like, okay, we're both in the same spot, we're good.
Yeah. I was gonna make an only human joke and then I decided that that would be not punny. So I decided to not. But
So sad you didn't commit. You should have.
you shouldn't have given it away. You should have just gone for it.
They should have done it.
Do you have like a favorite special guest that you guys have had on the tour so far?
Yeah. I think for me it was JoJo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Abby's a huge JoJo fan.
She was amazing. She was so freaking nice and obviously mega talented.
hmm.
She like hung with us after and like, it's like another legendary. It was Fenway.
Yeah.
Fenway's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's from Boston. I was just like, wow, like again, like a crazy, crazy experience being at a, sold out Fenway.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of continuing talking about touring, what's the biggest lesson that touring in general has taught you?
Ah, being flexible and understanding that things change constantly.
Hmm.
and being able to work through that and like
Hmm.
maintain a decent attitude, you know.
Hmm.
The reality is like, you know, you get all these people that come from total different parts of life. You know, some have kids, some have, you know, don't have kids. Some are single, some are not single.
Hmm.
Some are young, some are been doing this, you know, traveled all kinds of bands. Sometimes this is their first tour, you know. So it's
Hmm.
like every stage of life, someone's there and we're just having to like we're forced to live and coexist, you know, um with each other, you know. More so in the bus situation, but just in
Yeah.
general, you know, like it is a lot. So like seeing people every single day and you know, it's like, you know, it's just important to keep the morale high and not like, you know, let things get to you and be flexible, you know. I just think when it's not is when like tensions rise and then, you know, you never want to get there. So yeah, I find that that's just the easiest thing. You just,
Yeah.
hey, go with the flow, you know, and we'll make it work.
It's a good outlook. I like it.
We kind of touched on this earlier, but do you have any upcoming projects or like collaborations or things coming up that you can share with us? I know you were talking about the album.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got that single coming out. You know, like maybe in December. And then hopefully the album, like I said, we'll probably let it run a little longer. So I would probably say like April, May that the album will be coming out. Full length album, Fabian Chavez album.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about the next single too, but yeah.
Is it one more single before the album? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I guess anything else? Um, trying to think. I'm like a part of some other groups at home, but they are taking a little bit of a hiatus, you know, just
Okay.
because. But we'll figure it out. You know, there's like a little Caribbean. It's called Caribbean Drift. It's like a Afro Latin jazz,
Ooh,
you know, orchestra thing. So that's like a project with my friends that we've been starting and slowly getting there. So
that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Do you tend to play with things like that when you are home for longer stretches of time?
Yeah. I mean, I like to do everything. Honestly, like when I'm
Yeah.
home, you know, obviously I have to work. You know, just
Yeah.
like every. So I do a lot of weddings and corporate events and, you know, private events, as well as
Hmm.
just like gigging with different artists and studio
Hmm.
stuff. But yeah, I mean, like again, the grind never ends. One thing to like, I think to consider in being a successful musician, is to like have the ability to do many things, you know, and
Hmm.
have the ability to like write music, to produce music, to engineer, you know, to,
Yeah.
you know, help with you know, doing so the marketing stuff and
Hmm.
I do like charts and I write out charts and I write out arrangements and do all kinds of things because yeah, if you're just wanting to do like one specific path in music, like I only want to perform stadiums or I only want to do tours, like you know, it's gonna be a little
Good
tough.
luck.
Yeah,
Yeah, good luck with that.
exactly. So I think it's like being as well-rounded as possible
Hmm.
and not ever closing yourself off to like an opportunity, you know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, even like, well, yeah, the way that this gig came to be, and this may or may not be one of your questions, but this is a funny story about how I
Yeah.
got the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
It was like the piano player Michael Wooten. We played like, you know, some would say like a crappy bar gig, you know, Friday night, $100. I was like, whatever, you know. Very grateful for that. I'm never gonna say I'm not grateful for that, but you know, so I know that the singer always gets really good band, you know, really good band to play. So I'm always like,
Hmm.
okay, I have to do this gig. Like I'm free. I know he's gonna have really good people in the band. It'll be fun. Let's do it, you know.
Hmm.
So the gig, I showed up to the gig, and I never had met Michael before, but we hit it off. You know, we are just talking, chatting, and then we played. And you know, kind of my little whole little shtick when I perform, not my shtick. It's just like my internal thing.
Your trademark.
I Exactly. Yeah. I have no choice but to do this because yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like when I perform, you know, there could be 10 people or 100,000 people. You know what I mean? Like I'll be performing and playing and giving the same amount of energy. And
Hmm.
I never ever want to like phone something in or just be like on autopilot because oh whatever, this is a crappy gig, no one's listening, no one's here. Like I've never been or subscribed to that kind of thinking, and I never
Hmm.
want to. And I
Hmm.
think that, that's one of the things that Michael noticed about me and was like, dude, like you were just like crushing it and giving it your all, and like
Yeah.
it's like a random thing, like, So yeah, like literally, he didn't really even mention the Jonas Brothers thing. We were like, all right, man, good night, great playing with you, whatever.
Hmm.
A few days later, he texted me and was just like, hey man, it was great playing with you the other day. My name's Michael. I met you the other day. Just wanted to see if you would want to, fill out the tenor saxophone position for the Jonas Brothers tour, this year. And I was like, what?
What? The
Mention
who?
that.
The what?
I'm like, what? And so yeah, like right, like the day after they called me, the MD, and again, he's so nice, Chase Foster. We got a really
Yeah.
good connection, and he was like, dude, like I really see this as like a really amazing place for you. We really want to have you here so bad. So like whatever we got to do to have you, like I was like, oh my gosh, like this is
What a
so crazy.
huge compliment, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like I tell that story to people because I'm just like, you literally never know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen or who's gonna be there. And it's not all the time about who you know. It's like who knows you, who
Yeah.
wants. So I'm just always like, do the thing, say yes to the gig, say yes to the opportunity, say yes to the interview. You never know what'll happen, you never know
Yeah.
what'll come. And you know, I've always felt got success in those things. So
Yeah. Um, kind of what was the timeline on that? Like how long ago did that happen?
literally a month before we left.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. And that was for the five albums one night tour, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow.
And so he told me like June, like in June at some point, and then like the end of July we were leaving.
That's wild.
And we were gone for what 5 months
Yeah, I was gonna say,
straight
what a good gig to get though, because I feel like the Jonas Brothers are constantly touring, like every year.
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that first year we did all the U.S. run, Canada
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And that was a good little chunk, 5 months. And then we took a little break, and then we did like Australia, New Zealand, and we like went to India and Portugal for some festivals,
That's
and
sick.
we did like a whole Europe tour. That was like a month or something, month and a half. It was like a month and a half or 7 weeks or something like that. So that was cool. I'd never toured in Europe before, so I got to like see all those countries, and
Yeah.
so yeah, they are always touring though. Yeah. And they got, I always love it because they're so like got their hands in so many things, like
Hmm.
they got this movie out now, and this Disney movie. They
Yeah.
like, Joe's got his stuff with Scotch and Soda that he's collaborating
Hmm.
with. Nick has his, collaborating with Fossil, and
Hmm.
I'm just like I'm inspired because I'm like, okay, like, like I'm into those things too, and obviously I'm not at the same place, but it's like
Yeah.
I can just take note of like, okay, like how can I expand on my brand and something that I love and represent and like collaborate with
Hmm.
someone on that level, or something, some company on that level, that'd be a cool little dream, to have.
Yeah, a little side gig. I was also gonna say, I feel like something that like you've said a lot that also like I feel like I respect about them is just the fact that they're they are saying yes to so many things and they do like have their toe in so many different kinds of artists and like we're seeing that with all of these guests and um like to play for an artist does seem to treat their musicians as well as they do. Seems to be something that's very impressive about them and their entire camp. So
Yeah,
that's awesome that you get to be a part of that.
totally, totally. And on a personal level, they're just super nice guys, and
Hmm.
well, that we all are like pretty similar in age. Me and Nick are, I think, are the same age, or he might be like a year older than me now.
Okay.
But we're all like within, so we all feel like peers almost, we're just like hanging
Yeah.
out or whatever, It's not always just like, music,
Work,
music,
work,
music.
work. Yeah.
Joe loves coffee. We always talk about coffee. I'm turning him on to something. So, yeah, it's been really cool. Just yeah, getting to know them, getting to know all the people in the camp, and their
Hmm.
parents, and Bianca, and Danielle, and all this, and
Hmm.
wives and kids and stuff. They're just yeah, it's really a nice family environment. It seems like.
Yeah.
Since you said you always
Um,
talk about coffee, what's your go-to coffee order?
I'm a pour over guy. I
okay.
love I love pour overs. Espresso. I love that too. But here, I gotta show you my tattoo. Hold on. Yeah, I got a Chemex tattoo right here.
Oh,
No.
that's funny.
So yeah,
It is that serious.
Yeah. The
exactly.
dedication goes crazy.
I wanted to get a whole coffee plant, on here, but we'll see. I might do it.
That might be the next one. You
Who
and Joe
knows?
can get matching ones. That can be the end of the tour activity.
Yeah.
I would absolutely, I would do that in a heartbeat.
We'll see if he says
That'd be
yes.
great. I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's got like a billion tattoos, so what's one more?
Yeah. Kind of our last big question is if you could give one piece of advice to any aspiring touring musician, what would that piece of advice be?
Mm. Um, I would just say, kind of like I said earlier, it's just like, take every opportunity and just say yes and like do your best, be
Hmm.
fully prepared, and then just be workable. I
Hmm.
find that most people who leave tours or like get on a tour and then don't finish the tour or don't get called back are people that are like a little more difficult to like work with, or like they are not so flexible in terms of, you know, hearing feedback and then responding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like totally be willing to just be called out, and have thick skin, but like obviously know that it's for a greater cause, and it's like
right.
not only just for everyone's comfortability, but like professionally too. Like we just got to understand so many things, and we got to understand too. Like I mean, it's not about me, right? Like
Yeah.
as much as I do fool around on stage, and I, sure, love the
Yeah.
videos or like, oh my God, whatever, horn section, saxophone player, whatever. Like
I
at the
mean,
end
the
of the day,
choreography is great, so the
we're
attention is
trying.
worth it. It's well earned.
Oh, but it is like we are there to make them look good, make them sound good,
Yeah.
So that's our number one job. So it's like
Hmm.
whatever we have to do to make sure that they're comfortable, their management's comfortable, they can depend on us, we're reliable. Like that goes way further than your ability to play, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or not unfortunately, it's just the reality.
Yeah.
So
Well,
The
don't you
combination of the
worry.
personal and the musician. Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't you worry. On Sunday, I'll take a video. I'm gonna post online. Horn section goes crazy.
let's go. I love
Like,
that.
not even here for the Jonas Brothers. I'm just here for the saxophone.
You should do that. Bring a sign says I'm here for
I'm here
Joe
for the
Yeah.
who? No.
saxophone. All
Oh no,
right.
no, no.
All right. I don't think Joe's gonna
I
read
mean,
that one, but you will. So that's
he's
what
gonna look and
matters.
be like, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
He might get your sign and be like, all right, here you go, Fabian. That's yours.
Yeah.
Never know. I don't
All right, I'll get on that. Our last question is kind of like a fun one. What is your song of the day?
know. Ooh, it could be any song.
Any song,
Any
yeah.
song.
The Joe Bro song.
It can be a
Um,
Joe Bro song. It doesn't have to be, but
I, I've been loving some Joe Bros. I mean, it's obviously I listen to it all the time and it's
yeah.
on all the time. Um, I would say I loved the album. I still think that's like one of my favorites. I love a lot of the songs off the album, almost all of them. Well, I loved all the songs on the album. This new album, though, right? Greetings from Your Hometown. I love the song Tables. That's
Okay,
like,
yeah, that's a good one.
and then also backwards. I always find myself singing back and just like, I've been in my bed, spinning. It's just, yeah, that's a good one.
I would say if I had a song of the day today, it would probably be that one. I'm not gonna lie.
So. High five.
Yeah. I have a question though.
Yes.
Are you the one who plays the saxophone on Tantrum on the recording?
No, no, I
Dang.
wish. No, that'd been nice.
I love that song.
Yeah,
That
that's a
one
great one
happened
too.
in Milwaukee, and I was like, no
Yeah.
way.
I was gonna say that next after backwards. So
Really?
same page. We're on the same page.
You got good taste.
Yeah, well, hey, you too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Our last piece of things, we always like to give you kind of the opportunity to plug your social media, plug where to keep up with you online so that anyone who listens knows where to find you.
Yeah. Okay. So, you can find me on Instagram at Fabian Chavez Music, with a Z, Chavez with a Z, and YouTube, same thing, Fabian Chavez Music. I think on all socials, I'm Fabian Chavez Music. It's pretty easy. But yeah,
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram. I'm definitely most active on Instagram. So yeah, that's me.